Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will discuss the basic design issues of the data link layer. Along with the design issues, we will focus on the flow control mechanism and the ARQS control error control techniques. So, as all of you know, data link layer is a second layer, and it is mainly responsible for framing, flow control, access control techniques, addressing, and error control. So we have already studied the framing technique, addressing technique, the error control technique, and the some media access control protocol like Aloha, CSMA, and other protocols. Now today we will mainly focus on the flow control and the ARQ, that is automatic repeat request control error control protocols. So data link layer provides services to the its upper layer. It performs the framing. So whatever the data received from the network layer, it is encapsulated into the data link layer format, that is called as a frame. Next one is called as the line discipline, error control, and flow control. So these are the some basic parameters that is implemented at the data link layer. So data link layer, today we will start with the line discipline mechanism. Line discipline means who will access the channel, means who will start the communication, or between whom communication will be started. Next one is called as the flow control mechanism. So flow control mechanism is a receiver oriented mechanism. How much receiver can receive a data, or it can store the data, according to that one sender machine will send the data, that is called as the flow control. And there will be the error control techniques. Whenever the error is detected, then we perform the some mechanism so that to we detect the error, and then countermeasures has been implemented. So in the line discipline concepts, there are the two mechanisms. One is called as the inquiry and acknowledgement concept, and second one is called as the polling and selection concept. So along with these two techniques, we implement the line discipline mechanism. Now take a example where we have a point-to-point communication. Station A is directly connected with the station B, and station A wants to start the communication. So first of all, it will send a inquiry message to the machine B. If it receives a positive acknowledgement is always represented by ACK, and negative acknowledgement is represented by NAK. So positive acknowledgement means sender A can start the communication, it will send the data. Then for this respective data, receiver machine B will send the acknowledgement. Again, after receiving the acknowledgement, next data has been transferred, and then the acknowledgement as received. So by this method, the communication has been performed, and at end of the communication, that is called as the termination phase, EOT, that is the end of transmission bit frame, has been transferred. Now take a multi-point discipline example where we have one primary machine and multiple secondary machines are connected here. So to perform the communication, primary machine select a particular receiver, that is called as a sender machine. Then if it receives the acknowledgement, it will send the data, and the similar pattern, data and acknowledgement, this mechanism is performed. Next one is called as the polling technique. Here primary machine is connected to the multiple number of secondary machine. So primary machine, it polls to the secondary machine, that is a machine. If it has a data, it will send a positive acknowledgement, otherwise it will send the negative acknowledgement. Negative acknowledgement represent machine A does not have any data for the communication. After receiving the negative acknowledgement, primary machine poll to the second machine. If it has a data, it will send the data, and then for the respective data, acknowledgement will be transferred. If this communication has been over, then next it will poll for the uh, machine number C, and if it has again a negative acknowledgement, then this polling perform in a circular manner. So in this fashion, channel can be allocated to the particular machines. Now, next and important point about the this flow control technique is flow control is basically implemented at data link layer and transport layer. So when we implement it at a transport layer, we call it as a end-to-end communication of flow control between the process. So how much receiver has how much buffer has been allocated to the receiver, according to that one, sender will send the data so that receiver cannot be overloaded. At same time, at data link layer, we perform the flow control mechanism. So when we perform, it is between the machine to machine. The flow control mechanism is basically performed uh, by with respect to the processing capacity and the available memory at the receiver. So flow control refers to a set of procedure that used to restrict the amount of data that the sender can send before waiting for the acknowledgement. So in the flow control mechanism, we implement the acknowledgement concept. There are two types of acknowledgement. One is called as the positive acknowledgement, which is represented by ACK. There is called as the negative acknowledgement, which is represented by the NAK concepts. So at the data link layer, the error control is basically implemented with the help of automatic repeat request techniques. So with the help of CRC technique, whenever data link layer identifies there is an error into the frame, then data link layer request for the retransmission of frame. That is called as the automatic repeat request technique. So we will start with the first the protocols which are used for the flow control and the for the error control. So when we talk about the noiseless channel, so there will be in the noiseless channel there will be no error. We can say the chances of errors are very less. So for the flow control implementation, we use the simplest technique and the stop and wait protocols. Again, for the noisy channels, we use stop and wait protocol, go back and ARQ, selective repeat request. By the way, these two techniques, go back and selective repeat request, these are called as the sliding window protocol. It means for the noisy channel, there are basically two protocol. One is called as the stop and wait ARQ protocol, and second one is called as the sliding window ARQ protocol. So the sliding window ARQ protocol, basically for the error control, it is again divided into two parts. One is called as a go back and another one is the selective reject protocol. There is another sliding window protocol version that is called as a 1-bit sliding window protocol. So that 1-bit sliding window protocol is equivalent to the, its performance is equivalent to the stop and wait protocol. So let's start with the our first discussion on the noiseless channel. So in the noiseless channel, we have a very simple protocol that is the simplest protocol for a flow control or error control. That is nothing but the data will be transferred in a particular sequence to the receiver, and because it is a flow control or there is a very few chances for the error. So this technique does not depend upon the acknowledgement, only data has been transferred there. So in the next technique, so in this fashion, frame will be sent and particular frames are being received by the receiver. So in the stop and wait protocol, for the stop and wait protocol, uh, one frame has been transferred from the sender. After that, sender will be in the waiting condition. Uh, After receiving the frame, receiver will send the acknowledgement frame. So when acknowledgement frame has been received by the receiver, then only sender can send the transmitter. If acknowledgement is positive, then next frame will be transferred. If acknowledgement is a negative, that is called as NAK, then a same frame will be retransferred. So this is called as the stop and wait protocol. So although this technique is represented, I have represented this technique in a one particular communication format. So sender has sent the data frame. When this sender send the data frame, immediately timer has been on. If acknowledgement arrived before expired of the timer, then next data will transfer. If timer is expired and acknowledgement has not been received, then same data will be transferred again. So next, sender has sent the data. Uh, for this data, receiver has sent the acknowledgement. Again, next data, acknowledgement, next data, acknowledgement, and at the end of the frame, that is a EOT frame has been transferred. Now, this diagram has been taken from the Frozen. Now, we will study the another diagram which is taken from the Tenenbaum book. So, immediately before transmitting the frame, the timer has been started. So, frame 0 has been transferred. Now, uh, receiver has sent acknowledgement 1. Now, this 0, 1 represent the sequence number. So in the stop and wait protocol, there are only two sequence number has been implemented. One is called as 0 and another one is called as the 1. So ACK1 means receiver has received the frame number 0 and he is waiting for frame number 1. always positive acknowledgement is sent by +1. That is a whatever the sequence number, we current sequence number +1. It means it has a two meaning. It is a first frame number 0 has been received and receiver is waiting for frame number 1. So at the next time tick, next frame 1 will be transferred. So after receiving this one, receiver will send ACK 0 because we are only using the two sequence number 0 and 1. So next one is the, we will transfer the ACK 0. So it means sender will, next frame that sender will send, its sequence number will be frame number 1, and so that the communication is performed. So now this is a simple technique where we transfer only one frame at a time and then wait for the acknowledgement. So most of the bandwidth has been wasted, although it is a very simple technique. But the biggest drawback, biggest disadvantage of this technique is the wastage of the bandwidth. And in fact, receiver is also capable to receive a more number of frames. Now, so according to the receiver's capacity, now we have implemented the sliding window concept. Now window is an imaginary box. Now according to the memory and the processing capacity of the receiver, we transferred the some n number of frames at a time and then wait for the acknowledgements. So here there is a freedom that for the complete window size, that is a logical window size, receiver can send only a single acknowledgement. So your bandwidth will be properly utilized and sender can send a frame. In fact, if receiver is free, he can send a more number of acknowledgement for the particular window. For example, suppose in a particular diagram, we have sent 3 number 4, 5, 6, 7, 0 and 1 number frame to the receiver, and then sender will wait. Sender will transfer ACK2, means the frame number till all frame till 1 has been received, and now he is waiting for the frame number 2. Now, meanwhile, if suppose sender has sent frame number 3 and frame number 4, receiver is free to transfer an acknowledgement for frame number 4. So whenever receiver will send the acknowledgement, this window size has been grown up. Now take one example here. Now suppose this is a window size is defined here. Now this wall, this is an imaginary box wall, will be shrink whenever the frame will be sent. Now this is a sender side window. So whenever sender will send the frame, the window size will be reduced. Now the right hand side of the window will be increased only when the acknowledgement has been received. Acknowledgement has been received means now receiver has a free buffer to receive a more number of frames. So according to this one, the window size can be grown up. Now keep one thing, the most important point about the window is the maximum window size is fixed. So the size shrink and grow, it is between the 0 to n minus 1. So now next one, this is a receiver side window. So in the receiver side window, whenever the frame arrives, that is called as the whenever the receiver received the frame, the this left hand side of the window will be reduced, and whenever receiver will send the acknowledgement, this size will be increased. So in this fashion, sliding window protocol has been implemented. Now in the sliding window protocol, there are two versions. One is called as go back n ARQ, and second one is called as the selective repeat request ARQ. So just for simplicity, take this example from the Frozen book. This is a window size, initial window size. Now here window size represents sender has a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that is total 7 frames he can transfer, and this is a buffer size where receiver can receive the frame. So whenever sender send a 0 number frame, its window is reduced here. Again, when this frame data 0 is received, now receiver window is reduced, means now receiver has a less buffer to receive the data. Now next one, whenever receiver sender send the frame number 2, again frame number 1, again its window is shrink that one. So after receiving this particular one, now receiver is free to send the acknowledgement. If suppose receiver has sent the ACK2, it means all frames till till frame number 1 has been received, and now receiver is waiting for the frame number 2. So window size will be increased here. Just see here, window size is increased because it sent the acknowledgement. So in this pattern, sender and receiver window shrink and grow according to the already defined mechanism. So we will study in the next video. We will study sliding window protocol in a depth along with the go back and selective reject concepts.